Mark Lynas, Seeds of Science, Why We Got It So Wrong on GMOs. Delve into the captivating world of genetically modified organisms, GMOs, with Mark Lynas's book Seeds of Science, Why We Got It So Wrong on GMOs. This summary will take you on a gripping journey where Lynas transitions from an anti-GMO activist to a pro-GMO advocate. Explore the inception of molecular genetics research through the story of the DNA double helix, and learn about the controversies and moral dilemmas that surround GMOs. Probe the often contentious relationship between science, politics, and society while unlocking the truths and misconceptions about GMOs.
The GMO Paradox. Mark Lynas takes readers on a journey from anti-GMO to pro-GMO, highlighting thought-provoking moral, socio-political, and scientific questions around genetically modified organisms and their impact on the environment and agribusiness. Lynas questions whether his previous beliefs about GMOs being harmful were wrong and explores the potential benefits of manipulating DNA. The author's compelling narrative challenges readers to examine their stance on GMOs and consider the complexities of the issue. The backlash against genetic engineering. In The God Species, Lynas recounts the discovery of the DNA double helix in 1953 and the resulting boom of molecular genetics research. This research yielded findings that gene splicing happened in nature, which birthed a surge of resistance. Despite this resistance, the conclusions were eventually confirmed by challengers, proving that genetic engineering was indeed safe and effective. Lynas delves into the specifics of this resistance, exposing the controversies that exist within genetic engineering research. The rise and controversies of Monsanto. Monsanto, a company known for manufacturing a wide range of products, including Agent Orange and Roundup, introduced Roundup Ready crop seeds in the 1990s, which American farmers embraced for their high yields. However, lawsuits accusing Monsanto of bullying farmers into paying technology fees and doubts about its motives created public skepticism. Despite the controversies, court rulings upheld Monsanto's patents and intellectual property rights. Confronting misconceptions about GMOs. In his book, Lynas exposes how anti-GMO activists spread fake news to undermine progress. He highlights how charities in Africa propagated myths and conspiracy theories about GMOs, impeding scientific research and progress. The author also discusses how anti-GMO groups stopped the development and testing of crops such as drought-tolerant maize, wilt-resistant bananas, and genetically engineered cassava, which could have addressed food security and improved lives on the continent. Despite his previous stance as an anti-GMO advocate, Lynas supports his current position with reasonable arguments, although his use of the phrase, fake news, detracts from his credibility. Genetic engineering under siege. Scientists struggled to stop the resistance against genetically engineered crops in the face of activists like Jeremy Rifkin, who convinced environmental advocates to oppose DNA research. Despite finding initial fears about mutations to be overblown, the scientists' unfamiliarity with political battles led them to feel baffled and frustrated. As of 2017, authorities have not approved any GMO crops for farming in Europe since 1998. In North America, around 300 anti-GMO groups receive and spend $2.4 billion annually, causing a significant setback for genetic engineering. The power of moral stand. Lynas' book explores the anti-GMO movement's victory over corporate PR and science with the help of a morally rooted stance. He explains how social psychologist Jonathan Haidt's research indicates that reasoning never convinces people when they feel morally justified. Lynas argues that people tend to reject ideas that their social group doesn't endorse and often attempt to dominate opposing views. This highlights the need to understand and acknowledge both sides of a debate, even when morally charged, to foster progress and change. Choosing technologies, Lynas' take on biotechnology. In his book, Mark Lynas argues that people and communities should have the power to choose their technologies instead of being coerced by government or corporations. Biotech, he explains, has led to increased agricultural efficiency, decreased use of chemicals, and improved profits for farmers. Lynas addresses concerns raised by the anti-GMO movement, citing peer-reviewed data that contradicts claims of negative health effects. He calls for a collaborative effort towards revitalizing the environment and feeding the hungry, emphasizing the importance of shifting towards beneficial and sustainable technological advancements chosen by society. Lynas' controversial shift. Environmentalist and science writer Mark Lynas gained recognition for his anti-GMO stance. However, in his best-selling book, Lynas demonstrates the act of informed courage by acknowledging the importance of scientific evidence. Though polemical and strident at times, Lynas provides an excellent platform for discussing GMO foods' consequences.
Mark Lynas's Seeds of Science offers a thought-provoking and courageous account of the author's transition from an anti-GMO activist to a supporter of biotechnology. The book summary presents various ethical, social, and scientific questions that encourage readers to dive deeper into the GMO debate, whether stimulating critical thinking or simply broadening perspectives. Through personal investigation, Lynas explores the potential benefits and consequences of GMO crops while providing a broader context to evaluate the environmental impact and global implications. Ultimately, Seeds of Science invites readers to consider the complex and ever-evolving conversation surrounding GMOs and the necessity of informed choice in advancing scientific progress.